following presentation of the Detroit Tigers.
The weekend started with a bang here in Baltimore. Kevin McGonigal, first pitch of the game, hits a home run, but the Orioles answered back. Down 3-0 early. Pete Alonso gives the Orioles the lead, and then look at this home run. Jackson Holliday right down the line, tucks it inside the foul pole. This is a ballpark that yields runs and home runs. The Tigers getting the offense going today. Task of shutting down this Orioles offense falls to the lefty Framber Valdez. Tigers baseball on Detroit Sportsnet is presented by Bet365. And welcome inside Camden Yards along with Dan Petrie. I'm Dan Dickerson. Going into the weekend, we know the story about the Tigers offense struggling, but this ballpark yields home runs and it yields runs. It's a very hitter-friendly ballpark. This Orioles staff is giving up a lot of runs here. And some good signs on Friday that the Tigers offense might be heading in the right direction.
It was a welcome sign. The Tigers scored 4 runs for the first time in well over a week, and it had a lot to do with their extra base power. And it all started with Kevin McGonigal. The first pitch he sees, he launches that into right field. Tigers are off and running. You're thinking, man, that's a great start. Hey, that looks like we're going to win this game. And then all of a sudden, Gage Workman comes up. He just misses a home run. He doubles off the right field wall. Hao Yu Lee says, I want to get in the action also. Doubles down the left field line. And, of course, Riley Green, he's just off to a tremendous start. He smokes one back up the middle. Right after that, Spencer Torkelson, ground rule double into left. And Wenzel Perez also just says, you know what? I want to get involved too. He doubles down the right field line. Hopefully that's a good sign against a pitcher, Brandon Young, for the Orioles, who has pitched much better on the road than he has at home.
And it's been a 2-year struggle. Opponents with a 990 OPS in 2 years here at Camden Yards for Brandon Young. Framber Valdez trying to even up this series at a game apiece. A ground ball machine, perfect ballpark for him. First pitch coming up. Machine, perfect ballpark for him. First pitch coming up. Tigers baseball on Detroit Sportsnet is presented by Bet365, where winning is everything. By McDonald's of Michigan, grab a $5 McChicken meal today. By Rally House Michigan, it's your city, it's your house, it's the Rally House. And by Steel, find your local Steel dealer at steelusa.com. Memorial Day holiday weekend. This Memorial Day is brought to you by USAA. On this Memorial Day, please join USAA in honoring our fallen heroes. Well, the rain finally stopped. That's a bright spot. It was 40 degrees warmer 4 days ago. We're in the 50s this weekend, and it has been soggy. Played through a rain on Friday. The rain wiped out yesterday. The rain has at least moved on, we think, for the day. Take a look at the Tigers lineup today. Zach McKinstry in the leadoff spot. A.J. Hinch trying all kinds of things to get this lineup going. The Tigers lineup is presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. So Zach McKinstry in the leadoff spot, trying to get some traffic on the base paths for the 3 biggest threats: McGonigal, Dingler, Green, and now we're looking for the contributions from those guys, the bottom 5 in the order, Vierling, Keith, Perez especially. Take a look at the starter for the Orioles. Brandon Young is making his 7th start of the year. Debuted last year. He got knocked around a little bit. He has been better this year. But Dan, a pretty kind of a stock righty, you might say, in terms of the stuff and what they're going to see. Walk rate is high, does not get a lot of swing and miss. But you also notice he's only been knocked around in 1 game.
Yeah, and hopefully they can take advantage just of the splits between road and home. But the 6'6" righty goes after each side of the plate a little bit differently. Throws a healthy amount of sliders, 4-seam fastballs, sinkers to right-handers. while attacking left-handers with the four-seam, split finger, and curveball.
Big improvement this year has been against lefties. First pitch of the game is a strike, and we are underway here at Camden Yards. Beautiful Camden Yards in Baltimore. So glad to have you along for a day of baseball. We've got two today. Split doubleheader after the rain out yesterday. McKinstry swings and pops it up. Alexander's in left today, and he'll take care of Zach McKinstry. One up and one down on 2 pitches. We look at the defense aligned behind Brandon Young. Weston Wilson, a late addition to the lineup. He's been around. He's got a good glove. Gunnar Henderson's terrific at short, and so is Jeremiah Jackson at second. That's a strong up-the-middle defense. Taveras doesn't grade out necessarily great in center field, but got a big arm, and he's got speed. Brings up Kevin McGonigal. Beauty of a curveball.
Well, how'd you know he was going to start him off with that, too? After that first pitch on Friday night, finding its way into the seats, he says, no, you're not going to fool me. I'm going to start you off with that get-me-over curveball.
He might not see another first-pitch fastball for a month. A little dribbler behind home plate off the slider.
I wouldn't, after what he did to Luis Severino in the Dominican Republic, hitting that, 465-foot home run. I think everybody should have taken notice and said, you know what? This guy's hunting and trying to ambush that first pitch fastball.
Fastball's been a weapon this year. Likes to use it up. Fly ball to center is playable for Taveras. Man, there are 2 down on 2 fly balls. Brandon Young has become more of a fly ball pitcher this year. Pretty dramatic change in his profile. A lot more balls in the air than last year. Does not get many ground ball outs. Just something to watch as the game goes on. Some pitchers have that knack for getting the ground ball with men on base for the double play. Brandon Young does not. Again, big improvements against lefties. So righties actually have hit him better this year than lefties. Dylan Dingler always a threat. First pitch sinker that Kevin McGonigal didn't get. Right through the heart of the plate for a called strike 1. The strike 1. Swinging a foul. Dan, you look at those home road splits, and they're not just a little different. I mean, it's a 600 OPS for opponents against this guy on the road. It's worth repeating. 990 OPS. That's hitting for average, hitting for power. He walks more batters at home. I mean, at some point, that's something that he definitely has on his mind as this game starts.
Especially home runs, too. 4 home runs here versus 1 on the road.
Slider misses down and in.
That's a pitch that looks really good when you go back and watch highlights of his season. And it just looks like he doesn't throw him too much in the inside. He really locates it very well down and away from right-handed hitters.
Fastball up and in. Dylan Dingler thought about challenging, did not. That's a 1-2-3 first for Brandon Young.
Infinity. Imagine that.
Look at the Orioles lineup against Framber Valdez. Take a look at the righties who are most productive against lefties, and that would be Taylor Ward. It's in the leadoff spot, but he's not hitting lefties with power. Adley Rutschman has been very good from the right side against lefties. Always worry about Pete Alonso. Framber Valdez in 10 starts, a 2-3 record with a 4.50 ERA, and that's kind of been distorted by a couple of bad starts. Yeah. The strike throwing has been good, but it's also come and gone over the last 5 starts. Tiger starting pitcher presented by Wallside Windows. Strike called to Taylor Ward. Taylor Ward hit 36 home runs last year. Orioles picked him up. Great fit for this ballpark. Good sinker there. It's running away. But he has not provided the power. His hitting profile, the OPS, is the same. He's getting to the OPS in a completely different way than he did for the Angels in his career. Meaning, he's drawing a ton of walks. 47 walks drawn already. He's doubled his walk rate, which is already high, but not hitting with any power. It's one of the strangest things I've seen for a power hitter. At age 32, swing and a miss. Big curveball. Dan, that's a pitch to me that's the key for Framber Valdez, and it really has been a kind of hit and miss this year.
Yeah, and it's his strikeout pitch, but the big thing is it's 1-2. He's getting ahead, and that was what was slightly off in his last start. The first pitch strikes, the strikes overall. If he can just do those, which are really high this year, first pitch and strikes overall, he gets ahead. That curveball becomes a big weapon with opponents hitting just 175.
It's what the Tigers do. They've done it with Michael Lorenzen. They've done it with Jack Flaherty. They've done it with Framber Valdez, taking veteran starting pitchers who don't have a history of a lot of first pitch strike throwing, and they get them to throw first pitch strikes. Beauty of a curveball to Henderson. So you look at this year, the total strike percentage and the first pitch strikes. Those are the two keys for the Tigers, and they are much better over his career numbers and over last year. And the last start, you can see a real struggle. 89 pitches, just 52 strikes.
You know, the other thing that's good too is that Taylor Ward in his career was 15 for 31 off of Framber. So no secret as to why they decide, hey, we're going to lead him off. Just try to get him as many at-bats against Framber as you can, and you strike him out, the first hitter. I mean, that feels like I'm on today.
Henderson's actually been really good against lefties this year, better than he has been against righties. Fouls this one, severe jam job. Framber's been tougher on lefties. You would think every year he's tougher on lefties, but he's actually been tougher on right-handed batters the last couple of years. Lefties have done very little against him, hitting 240 with no power. And that's the thing, for all the unevenness and that high ERA. I mean, that ERA is coming down. You can just about guarantee it. One thing hasn't changed. This guy, ground balls are down, but he's still a ground ball pitcher. He does not give up extra base hits. Perfect. Oh, man, the movement on that changeup. Thing of beauty.
Well, the pitch right before that was a four-seam fastball, that very rare four-seam fastball, and I think Gunnar Henderson was just really looking confused in that whole at-bat. That one that you talked about, the emergency swing on the sinker, I think he was looking curveball, and on that last pitch, the changeup, definitely looking for something else.
Switch hitter Adley Rutschman sees the curveball at the back foot. He's good from both sides. He really has been for the last couple of years. But the biggest threats against Framber today, really right at the top, Ward, Rutschman, Alonso. Changeup foul tip, and it's 1-1. Swing and miss is down for Framber Valdez this year, but man, we have seen him when he's on, and like you said, throwing first pitch strikes. Think of the Atlanta game, 19 swings and misses. Rutschman takes a strike on the outside edge.
Boy, that's just another one right there with Rutschman kind of flinching at that sinker, almost like waiting for it to break down and in, being a curveball. So it just looks like so far they're guessing wrong.
Tigers starting defense brought to you by Mary Grove Awnings. Always, you look at second, short, and third when Valdez is on the mound. A.J. Hinch is going to tell you who he trusts the most right now at those three spots because of all the ground balls. And that's McGonigal, Short, and McKinstry. At outfield, you see Green, Beerling, and Perez. That's been the mostly everyday outfield for A.J. since the injury to Kerry Carpenter especially.
That's the second four-seam fastball that Framber has thrown, and he said he was working on it, and we'll just have to pay attention if he's just showing it now in the first inning or throughout the game if he starts mixing that in a lot more often.
Another four-seam fastball at 96, up and in. How many had he thrown all year? 5.
5, yeah. Yep. I remember them all.
We remember the first one.
Sure do. So does Trevor Story.
The 3-2 line deep and well foul. It is interesting, though, is that you think the ends of the. I mean, you can almost go in any direction, but you can definitely go the curveball off of that.
That's what I was thinking is why he's doing it. As good as his curveball is, he's trying to make it even better by tunneling it right off the four-seam fastball.
And he gives Rutschman the curveball, and that's a good trip to the plate for Adley Rutschman. He draws a walk on the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Valdez has given up 4 walks in one game, 5 in another. In his other 8 starts, 2 or fewer. His walk rate is up, but it's really 2 games that have distorted the picture, I think, a little bit. This guy has not hit lefties like he normally does. This one's deep. Riley Green back, and he's got room. In front of the warning track. Deep drive, and a routine first for Framber Valdez.
All we do is win.
We go scoreless to the top of the second inning for StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. This is Riley Green at the top of the strike zone. This is where Brandon Young likes to work with his fastball. It is something he works so hard on, Dan, this offseason. Already 14 hits on the elevated fastball right at that top third. 13 strikeouts, but that was a pitch that was absolutely a trouble spot for him last year. He couldn't lay off. He would swing and miss a lot. And you can see he's done a great job making sure that when he gets that high fastball, more and more, he's getting the ball that he can drive and not the one that's at letter high that he's going to swing and miss at.
And that so many times I can just remember him taking that high fastball and lining it back up the middle. And that's part of that approach that he's done, that he's taken, saying, I'm not trying to do too much with it. I'm just trying to line that back up the middle. That's why he's getting so many hits.
Sees the slider away. As Riley said during spring training, talked about all the training he's doing against the fastball, learning to also foul that pitch off to extend the at-bat. He said, we're always going to swing at that pitch. It's just making sure that you're swinging at the right pitch, or not too often at one that is too elevated that you're not going to get to.
And we saw it just the completed Guardian series where it was the first time in a long time where Riley swung and missed at one well out of the strike zone. So he's definitely been laying off that high fastball, and it'll come into play here too with Brandon Young. He's got that 18.1-inch vertical break on his four-seam fastball.
And that means he can get swing and miss. He doesn't get a ton, but he can with that kind of vert to his fastball.
And that's
what a lot of pitchers would love to have.
Yeah, they're, just where it doesn't appear to sink as much and it just stays true, and the batters just swing right underneath it.
Soft little jam job to third. Weston Wilson takes care of Riley Green. Ooh. The pitch that lefties have hit the most, and I don't think we seen one yet today. The split has not been a weapon for Brandon Young against lefties. They've hammered it the last 2 years. You kind of get the feeling he's just going away from it. Coming into this game, 80% fastball split and curveball. And Fearling takes a sinker in. So 2 routine fly balls, a strikeout, and that weak ground ball off the bat of Riley. Soft ground ball. Wilson will take care of Matt Fearling. And now a message from Figer Law.
If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, make Figer Law your first call. Figer Law. All we do is win. All we do is win.
5 up, 5 down for Brandon Young. Most hittable first trip through opposing orders. Gets better as the game goes on. Fly ball deep to center field. Taveras tracking it though. And that is a quick 1-2-3 inning for Brandon Young and the Orioles.
Sam.
Time for the Call Sam Best call. We look at Framber Valdez again. The swing and miss and the strikeout rate down. It's actually the lowest of his career. The walk rate is the highest. But to me, it's, and we talked about it, Dan, that he has that capability of getting a lot of swing and miss. We saw it against Atlanta. That wasn't a team. That was a high contact team. And this Orioles team is at the other end of the spectrum. A lot of swing and miss. And an opportunity for him to rack up 2 strikeouts in the first inning to rack up the strikeouts today. Second highest strikeout rate in the American League. Sinker kind of handcuffed Jake Rogers. Tyler O'Neill was signed by this Orioles team because a couple of years ago he had a crazy good year, and it was driven by his production against lefties. Monster number against lefties. Tyler O'Neill is 2 for 36 against lefties this year. It's a stunning drop in production.
Yeah, that 31 home runs 2 years ago and just 9 last year.
Changeup wipes him out.
Well, you talk about some swing and miss. I mean, so far from Fromber, and this changeup looks really good. The curveball looks good. Mixing in those 4-seam fastballs, the sinker's always going to be there, but you really like those secondary pitches. That's especially that curveball. That curveball is such an important weapon for Fromber.
Throwing that changeup a couple miles an hour faster today. It's been 90-91, averaged 89. Coming into play today, Weston Wilson at the plate. Late bloomer, debuted at 28. He's been with Philadelphia in a utility role the last couple of years. He can provide some punch from the right side. Late addition to the lineup. You always watch those guys. Zach Short takes care of Wilson. Usually those guys who are added to the lineup at the last minute do something during the game.
You know, and I was going to say it, he was a last-second replacement and ended up getting a couple of chances in the second inning back-to-back. A couple of ground balls early, easy plays, but nevertheless, it's going to find you.
Leody Taveras impacted the game the other day. Double early, bunt single, touched off a 3-run inning in the 4th that gave the Orioles the lead for good. He got down that line so fast from the left side, one of the fastest we've seen all year. He is much better. This is a switch hitter, much better from the other side of the plate. Curveball bounces. He's been filling in a lot at second base. Well, Jackson Holliday recovered from that hamate bone surgery. Debuted last year, hit .270. He's got a little pop. Extra base, occasional home run power for Jeremiah Jackson. One thing he will not do. When Jackson's on deck, Taveras got a solid walk rate. Jackson on deck does not walk. The 2-1. Sinker away.
He's throwing that sinker over there in hopes that those right-handed hitters will try to pull it just like Weston Wilson did. Really looks like he's got that nice horizontal movement to it, going down and away from the right-handed hitters, and it'll just be feeding right into Fromber's hand if they continue to try to pull it.
That one is going to drop in front of Matt Bierling. Taveras just 5 for 33 as a right-handed batter coming in. Singles with 2 outs here in the second inning. We'll keep an eye on him. This is an Orioles team that doesn't run a whole lot, but we've seen this with other teams. They don't run a lot, but with Framber Valdez on the mound, they are always looking for the opportunity. Do you feel it feels like he's trying, Dan, to be better holding runners, but he hasn't yet.
You know that he has to be. And you know that they're going to spend a lot of time working with him. And already it looks like just in that first opportunity there, just his leg, just lifting it straight up.
Taveras has 3 steals.
And what I mean by coming straight up, he's not crossing over the plane so the runner at first can know right away. If he crosses over that plane, they know that they can take right off. So he lifts that leg straight up towards first base, and they can't tell if he's going to go to first or if he's going to continue on home.
Even a lob throw over to first like that can let the runner know I'm at least thinking about you over there at first.
and sometimes not as soft as he threw that, but that snap throw can catch him off guard flat-footed.
The 0-2. Soft ground ball will go foul. Jackson debuted last year, hit 270, nice extra base power. Former second-round pick from the Angels 8 years ago out of high school, and then signed with the Orioles in the fall of 2024. Done a nice job defensively at second base. This is the guy who will not walk. Ball one to each of the first three batters of this inning. Jackson saw strike one. This will be the fourth pitch of the at-bat. He's off the curveball down. Pitch that's at its best when it's strike to ball. Some of these are just ball out of hand, Dan. The curveballs that bounce.
And that's okay when it's 0-2 like that. You know, he's trying to get chase, and he will a lot. Big thing is just staying ahead.
Got a lot of called thirds on swingback sinkers to righties. Curveball is hit softly to third base. McGonigal takes care of the speedy Jeremiah Jackson. Single and no more. We head to the third. Scoreless in Baltimore.
Protect your home today at Ring.com.
This upcoming Tuesday is a 3-1-3 value game presented by Pepsi. Tigers face the Angels. The Comerica Park tickets start at $29. Plus, you get $3 hot dogs, $1 chips, and $3 waters or fountain drinks. Go to tigers.com/313 to learn more. Fastball crowds Wenzel Perez. I was talking with AJ in pregame the other day, Dan, about Wenzel, and he said this is a guy who had an 800 OPS going into his final 14 games last year. And then the poor finish, but that was 5.5 months of production. He said he's just indecisive. He's just very indecisive, and I think we just saw it on those first two pitches. Two fastballs, and couldn't fire on either.
Yeah, that last one just looked a little, baffled that it was called a strike, and it was, borderline, but still.
He struggled from both sides. AJ feels his right-handed at-bats, which were a big improvement last year, have been better. We know he's got power from the left side. But they know that good offense is still in there. He said it truly can just be. Maybe that double the other day starts Wenzel Perez on a hot streak. But I think hitting the fastball will be a very good sign for Wenzel.
And a little bit of indecisiveness, is just not trusting a little bit too, your ability up there, and just reacting, being on, like Kerry Carpenter always talks about, being on time for that fastball.
On time for that fastball, but right to Taveras in straightaway center. It's a good swing. We've seen so many off-balance swings. I mean, just start with that. Balance swing, hit the ball hard. It's one out here in the third.
Yeah, it's just being on time with that fastball, which he was, and hit it good, and then just adjusting to all the other pitches that you may see up there, all the secondary pitches. And just trusting that ability instead of kind of just feeling for it, not quite sure. Just trusting it and letting your natural ability take over.
Jake Rogers swings at the first pitch, fastball, and pops it up. Boy, that pitch has been a weapon for him against righties. O'Neill makes the catch, and it's 8 up, 8 down with ease so far for Brandon Young. And now a message from your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Now during employee pricing for everyone, get $10,002 in savings on the 2026 F-150 XLT 4x4. See your Southeast Michigan Ford dealer today.
Because of that vertical that you mentioned, Dan, I mean, that's the kind of pitch that a guy with a high vertical on his fastball, 18 inches is big. You can get that called strike at the bottom rail because guys think it's going to sink out of the strike zone. And then do that. go right back upstairs. Zach Short behind 0-2.
Yeah, especially when you're 6'6", and that ball is kind of coming down at a tremendous angle, and it looks out of the hand like it's just going to carry and it's going to be low, but because he's got that nice spin on it and carry, it stays true.
It's just been a weapon for him, especially against righties. They were 6 for 40 against the fastball, four-seam fastball last year. Only 2 hits off it this year, and 7 at-bats had ended on that pitch. The 0-2. Slider was ball out of hand.
That's where he locates that slider. Generally, when you're looking at that slider, he doesn't miss too often. It's usually right there on the outside corner of that plate.
Pop foul out of play. Well, his pitching profile has changed, as we said. More fly balls, and already we have seen 5 fly ball outs, most just kind of pop flies. 1 squared up by Wenzel Perez. Tigers trying to break through. That ball is hit deep to left field. Going back is Alexander, and that ball is off the top of the wall. Zach Short will cruise into second. He just missed hitting a home run. What a good feeling for him, though. Second hit of the year is a double with 2 outs here in the third.
Boy, that's just a curveball that just hung up right in the middle of the plate. Zach Short was all over that. And off the bat, it was one of those ones where you're thinking, hey, that's got a chance. Just missed by a couple of feet. But 2-out double into scoring position, just need a big hit.
Zach McKinstry in the leadoff spot again. AJ wants to, well, just give Craig Alvarez some decision points. Give McKinstry as many at-bats as he can against a righty. Curveball for a strike. It's been a struggle, but said he wanted to move Keith down lower in the lineup to take some pressure off of him. He's seeing some tension in his at-bats. Wenzel Perez has had his struggles. And this is a guy with a track record, meaning that last year the improvement was led by a line drive rate that's about as high as you will see. The line drive rate has been cut in half this year, but it's in there. Trying to get that line drive stroke back. This one is chopped to third. And that will take care of the McKinstry and the Tigers. 1 hit, 1 base runner through the fight.
Time now for Chevy's strongest player, Framber Valdez. So far, you know he's got the good sinker, and looks like the Orioles are trying to tee off on that, but it's the secondary pitches from Framber that so far are looking really good. Curveball's always there too, but boy, that changeup off of that really good sinker of Framber spells trouble. So the way that Framber's looked so far, just keep that until hopefully this Tigers offense can score him some runs.
6 swings and misses through 2 innings. He had 19 swings and misses against Atlanta. 3 starts since, he has had 18 swings and misses combined. Make it 7. Blaze Alexander swings and misses at the first pitch here in the third.
Well, you can see how that sinker and changeup combination off of one another. I mean, it's the same movement profile. It's just a little bit slower on the changeup.
I mean, the way he's throwing it today, Dan, 90-91, you think, is that enough separation? But clearly the answer to that is yes. So it doesn't always have to be that 8 to 10 miles an hour difference, does it?
No, I think he sells it a lot with his motion, too.
Softly to third. McGonigal takes care of Blaze Alexander.
And this is just the way that Taylor Ward, who really has been a thorn in Framber Valdez, but a couple of sinkers to start the at-bat off with, and then went to that curveball. Big thing was getting ahead 1 and 2, and then saying, you know what, I'm going to go to that curveball, get that swing and miss. But look at that heat map there. I mean, there's a lot of hits right there in the center of the plate.
Shot caught at first base by Colt Keith. That was heading into the corner for another hit for Ward against the guy he loves to hit against, and instead Colt Keith took the hit away. Nice play.
And he knew it, and Framber went and attacked him with the sinker once again like he did in that first at-bat. Taylor Ward jumped on inside out at it, but Cole Keith was standing right in the way.
Gunnar Henderson saw 6 pitches his first time up, took a called third. The beauty of a changeup right at the bottom rail. Only lefty in the lineup today. Not hitting lefties for average, but he is for power. Framber will throw that sinker obviously to lefties, but he'll also throw it to righties. Get some swing back action. We saw that in the Boston game at Fenway. Cloudy and cool in Baltimore. This ballpark, when it's 97 like it was a few days ago, plays a little bit differently. Plays a little smaller.
You could think about how the ball jumps.
Sinker for a strike. On the glove side, some nice swing back on the outer third. The 2-1. Soft little tap foul. Framber Valdez just, I mean, he just misses barrels, Dan. It's impressive. Alonso hit the ball hard, but it was off the end of the bat his first time up.
It just, you can see all that movement to it on that sinker. That's some big horizontal movement.
Rod setting up away for the slider. Gunnar Henderson a little more aggressive. Walk rate is down. Strikeouts are up considerably for him. Production is sharply down from 2 years ago when he had that monster season. This is still one of the best bats in this lineup. Wasn't taking a chance on the slider.
Well, I'm glad they went back to back because that is a good pitch.
I like Gunnar Henderson nodding like, yeah, okay, I'm seeing that.
But he took the previous one, and he doesn't throw that many sliders. And it's like, well, he's not going to throw 2 in a row, is he? And he did. Nice to double up on a pitch you don't throw that often.
Ground ball fouled on the first base line. Hardly throws the changeup to lefties, but that's how he got him out first time up. You like it right here?
You know, I don't know what he'll do, just being that it's 3-2. You know, it's not a time where you need to go after or chase a strikeout. It's just, you just got to make a good solid pitch. You don't want to walk them. Just make a good solid pitch and get yourself back into that dugout.
3-2. Got him. Two-seamer up. And a 1-2-3 third inning for Framber Valdez.
And went with it. Said, you know what? I'm going to go back to my best pitch, which is my sinker. Oh, reliable. And
flexible financing options.
They say moms are the real MVP, and that is evident in Kevin McGonigal's mom, Tracy, coordinating and buying 265 tickets for friends and family, making the hour 45-minute drive from just outside of Philly in Kevin's hometown. But wouldn't you know, Tracy was not one of the ones in attendance on Friday night because she had an emergency appendectomy. She said she was on the phone with Kevin beforehand, and she said she was a mess. And Kevin said, it's fine, it's a baseball game. So she has the surgery. It goes well. She then proceeding to make her way home from the hospital. She's in the passenger seat. And then she sees that home run. And she, as she told me, she's delirious from the anesthesia. And the driver is like, hey, are you okay? Because she's breathing heavy and pointing down to her phone. And she goes, Kevin just hit a home run. And now he just hit a single.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, here's a look at just him greeting these, 265 people. There's not enough time in the world to be able to hug everybody. But, I mean, the smile on Kevin's face when he talks about not just his mom, but all these people who have been able to support him and get him to this point, it's very clear his surroundings and his people is a large reason why he has made it to this place. And this weekend has really just been a celebration of that. And I'm glad his mom is in attendance, less delirious today, but who knows after this thing.
Alonso trying to make a play, and he absolutely made the wrong call. He was trying to field that soft hopper, touch first, throw to second, double play. Instead, a pretty good first baseman botched it.
Boy, that was a good idea, though, because Dylan Dingler didn't come out of the box because he got jammed. And it just had so much spin on it, I think, that when it hit, it just surprised him. But watch Dylan Dingler. He's just kind of watching that. And then Alonso said, wait a minute, if I let that go, I got a good chance of doubling him up.
Riley Green hit this one hard, but not hard enough. The ball is just not going in this ballpark. McGonigal will tag and head to third. 90 degrees. I think that ball has a chance to go a little bit farther. Off the bat at 95. It's a routine out, so a complete misplay opens the door. Runners at the corners for Matt Vierling.
Well, now this is just one of those ones where you got to take advantage of it. You know, you got Riley Green hitting the ball well to center field. Kevin McGonigal moving over. Somehow you got to figure, just keep that ball off the ground and figure out a way to get this run in from third.
Talked with AJ about hitting and how you get a team out of a funk. And he said that, I mean, there are so many things that go into it, right? But he said that what he's looking for this weekend, those connected at-bats, Dan, the tandem at-bats. When you do something, the guy behind you does something to leave the game in a better situation for the guy behind him. We saw a few of those at-bats the other day. Back-to-back doubles that we showed in the open. Gage Workman to Perez. And had a torque double following a Riley Green single. That's where it starts, getting back to that good team offense. And it has been 23 games where we just haven't seen much of that. 19 times in the 23 games, the Tigers have scored 3 runs or fewer. And it's not just hitting with runners in scoring position, it's just there's not much traffic on the base paths. This is the Tigers offense. That was through 29 games. They averaged 4.5 runs a game. Just under 3 runs a game since. They were top 3, top 4 in run scoring. OPS. It's in there. It just hasn't been there for a few weeks. That one's going to get down in the gap in left center field. McGonigal will score. Dingler around second, will cruise into third. Matt Vierling has a connected at bat. On an 0-2, a double, and the Tigers take a 1-0 lead.
Well, we talked about that slider. Just normally from Brandon Young, he really spots that up. That one just stays up and is just spinning on the outer third of the plate, just enough that Matt Vierling can get that barrel to it and just lift it enough to get it into left center field. If he throws that down in a way where he likes to do, especially being ahead like that, it could be a different result, but just stayed up enough for Matt Vierling to drive in the first run.
Cole Keith got jammed a little bit, softly to right field. O'Neill with the catch. Dingler coming home. Throw cut off. 2-0 Tigers. Cole Keith hits it deep enough to right field. Boy, they are jumping on the first pitches of these at-bats.
Boy, just nice to see with that kind of trick play that Alonso was trying to make, and he wasn't able to make it. And so far, looks like it's going to lead to at least a couple of runs here.
Yep. Take advantage of the mistakes, find ways to leave the game in a better situation for the guy behind you. Wenzel Perez has had some good swings in the first 2 games. Flip over to first to drive Matt Vierling back. Tigers have been starting to steal a few more bases. This is a guy who pays attention to the running game. He's only allowed 2 steals and over 20 starts going back to last year. Fastball rides above the strike zone. Gets the curveball misses away. I do think we're seeing better swings from Perez. And I mean, we saw so many where he just kind of swing himself all the way around and off balance. It's a good take. The curveball down and in. AJ would love to give some of these guys a day just to reset a little bit, but he said it just really isn't that option. So Wenzel Perez is playing every day, working hard every day to get out of a funk. pretty good splitter. Again, that's been his most hittable pitch the last 2 years. That was a good one.
You know, and sometimes as disappointed as we all were with the rain out yesterday, it's just that demoralizing defeat on Friday. You know, sometimes that little rain out can be good. A little bit of a reset. Guys have a chance just to walk away from the game a little bit and come out ready to go today.
Lays off the fastball that rides up and away. Lefties haven't done anything against that pitch. You would think he might go back to it. He does, and he misses outside. Right, so Perez draws a walk. So this is the kind of rally that can spur an offense team. Single, take advantage of the error, followed by a single, a sacrifice fly, now a walk, keep the line moving.
And that pitch count too, just when you're kind of rolling along too, you know, things are going, things are going really well for you. You know, you're feeling good. You're throwing all your pitches where they want to be, and just that one little play, and all of a sudden you've got that pitch count adding up, and I think that's why they're just kind of, okay, let's go out and give him a little bit more, give him a little breather here, let him catch his breath.
Logan's got a little more on the offense. Logan?
Yeah, you guys were talking specifically, Peaches, you were talking about maybe getting away from the park and just how getting away from the game right now when you're going through a struggle like that. AJ Hinch earlier was talking about just staying optimistic on a daily basis when you're going through a stretch like this one. And you have a room down there that is, their default setting is to be optimistic. And he said you can't feel sorry for yourself. You can't dwell on it. Feeling that way doesn't change one thing. And the season hasn't been lost. The division hasn't been decided. And in a lot of ways, they've pulled out of this before. So they have experience in that department, and it's reminding those guys what they're capable of every single day when they approach and get to the ballpark, too.
Yeah, Logan, I think, I mean, you've been in there plenty. There is the absolute belief in that clubhouse, Dan, that this team is still very capable. It's still very talented, capable of getting on a run. To a man, I think they feel that way.
No, there's no doubt. It's just you want to see some. You continue to put all the work in, and you just want to see some of it pay off. That's the frustrating part for these players, is that they're banging their head against the wall and they just want to see some wins.
Jake Rogers, soft fly ball to right field first time up. Now he's got the good hitters count. Righties have hit 270 against this righty with some power this year. Could be an opportunity for Jake. 3-1.
Yeah, now all of a sudden kind of getting into those hitters counts, throwing a lot of pitches instead of those early swings and a lot of easy outs, kind of working the counts a little bit, being a little bit more selective.
Beerling the runner at second, Perez at first, little pop-up. Jackson takes care of Jake Rogers. Pete Alonso, he's pretty good at first base. Wanted to make a play and tried to get two. Instead, he couldn't get one. Tigers baseball is presented by Figer Law. 2-run top half of the fourth. For that shutdown inning from Framber Valdez. A walk in the first inning, a single in the second, and a 1-2-3 third. Orioles have made him throw 48 pitches through three. That's actually an average pitch count through three. He's rolling, though. Getting ahead with consistency. He can put up some 8 and 9 pitch innings. Heart of the order right here. Adley Rutschman drew a walk first time up. 8 pitch battle with Framber.
You know, Framber's looked really focused in this game so far today, and this is where you definitely want that shutdown inning. Your guys go out, take advantage of a play over at first base to get you a couple. You really want to come through and just shut them down. I mean, it just seemed like on Friday night, every time they'd score, you know, the Orioles would come right back. You definitely need a big shutdown inning here.
Sinker grabs the outside edge. Home Depot working on a win. Stat of the day is Framber Valdez. Oftentimes talk about how good a pitcher is each trip through the order. We're going to divide this by pitch count. He's most hittable through 50 pitches, 320. And then after 50, forget about it. He just hit 50 pitches. But it's rare to see that big a split between your first 50 pitches and your next 50. Batting average a half of what it is the first 50 pitches. So another way of saying this is Framber's time, starting here in the 4th inning. But this is the test. Rutschman, Alonso, O'Neill is certainly very pitchable right now. Pete Alonso, he's just a threat every time up. I just feel like he could hit one out every at bat. Rutschman's having a very good year. It's the most productive year in the last several. Draws another walk. 2 walks issued by Framber today, so that's the limit. At least it has been in 8 of his 10 starts. Alonso takes a changeup, strike 1.
And you're knowing that Pete Alonso wants to make up for that botched little pop-up from Dylan Dingler. And hopefully that'll play right into Framber's hand, and maybe he can get a double play here. A little bit over-anxious or something like that, just trying to do too much and get on top of a changeup, get on top of a sinker, and hit a little ground ball to Zach Short.
Led the National League with 23 double play balls last year. This one's deep to left field, but actually Bradley Green will come in and toward the line to make the catch. Once again, misses the barrel of the bat. Got Pete Alonso shaking his head going back to the dugout. It's what Framber Valdez does.
Just that changeup. It's just a good way again of trying to take advantage of the hitter's emotions a little bit. You know he's kind of grinding it out like, oh man, I got to do something big here. I got to look for something hard, and he just takes enough of it off to get him out in front for that lazy fly ball.
2 years ago with Boston, Tyler O'Neill hit 16 home runs against lefties in 128 at-bats. Basically a home run every 8 at-bats. And that production fell way off last year since signing with Baltimore. He's hit barely 180. And he has not done any damage against lefties, especially this year. Sinker for a strike. First pitch strike throwing has been off after the hot start, but Framber able to get back into at-bats. It just means a few longer at-bats and the pitch count climbing for Framber. Fewer ground balls this year, so we're seeing fewer double plays turned behind him. Such a reliable way for Framber every year of his career to get out of a jam. Only 4 double plays turned behind him so far in his first 10 starts. Good double play candidate at the plate. In the air to right, deep and playable. Perez had it all the way. Did a nice job getting around that ball, reading it, getting back to the track. 2 outs, a man on first. Well, Tigers fans, stream the Tigers games live with a subscription to your new home for Detroit sports, Detroit Sports Net, presented by Bet365. Your subscription includes the Tigers throughout the season, plus a Red Wings starting in the fall, subject to national exclusivities, of course. Terms and conditions apply. Don't miss a minute. Subscribe by visiting Tigers.com/Detroit Sports Net. Tigers with a 2-0 lead in the 4th. Framber Valdez misses with the curveball up. Weston Wilson, the late addition to the lineup. Just a rock solid utility piece. Craig Albarnez and the Orioles. Framber's been falling behind. That's a 2-0 count on 4 of the last 5 batters.
You know, and just looking at, thinking along, right along with you, just that second time through the order, you know, they're knowing kind of what he's throwing. Only got 1 at bat, only the second time, but still they have a better thought on how he's going after him. just being a little bit more selective. Like O'Neill there had a couple of really good sinkers. Coming back, it was 2-0, and he just didn't want any part of them. But getting into that 2-ball count, like you said.
Wilson will make you throw him a strike or two. Limited at bats. He's already drawn 6 walks.
I don't think we've seen the 4-seam fastball since that first inning either, though. Comes out showing a couple just for the heck of it, and then that's it.
In the air to right field again. Perez will have room to make the catch, going to the track. 2 deep fly ball outs in the 4th. Framber Valdez with the shutdown.
1,844 awning.
Well, the Tigers score 3 runs or more in this game. They are 2/3 of the way there. You can visit a participating Arby's location tomorrow. You know what you get. It's a free small order curly fries. Zach Short just missed hitting a home run. First time up, takes a pitch in. Popped up. Wilson. 1 out in the 5th inning. Made changes here in Baltimore back in 2022 because, you know, the Orioles and their opponents hit 277 home runs here in 81 games. 277. Moved the wall back 26 feet. They said this will make it neutral. Nope. Made it the worst home run ballpark in baseball. And I said, well, what can we do? I know.
Move them back in.
We can move them back in. That's what we could do. So they committed an architectural crime by taking out 1,000 seats in left. Make the mistake of just cutting out a chunk of that left field wall. They didn't bring the entire left field, just a chunk. And so it goes right out to 373 from 333. And then when they moved the wall back in, they didn't add the seats back in. They just added some stairs to nowhere. Brendan Young will take care of Zach McKinstry on a 1-1. But once again, this ballpark, now it's always been pretty home run friendly for lefties. They didn't change the dimensions in right. But that cutout for 3 years made it a terrible home run ballpark. Now it's back to being, even though they only moved it in 13 after moving it back 26, it is the 3rd best ballpark for home runs in baseball since the start of last year. Definitely favors lefties over righties because you can always reach the right field seats like Kevin McGonigal did in Game 1. But this is a run-scoring, hitter-friendly ballpark. Let's see if Kevin can get one. Hang a breaking ball.
You know,
I think he's going to get a fastball.
You're right, just out there in that left center, that 363 out there. I mean, that's in those bullpen areas.
I mean, right-handed hitters for a while knew that they had no business pulling the ball.
No.
To left field.
No, and now, I mean, guys like Alonso can take aim at that right field line, just how and out in the left center.
Beauty of the curveball, one of the best he's thrown since early in the game.
Yeah, that's tough. You know that Kevin is just looking, that's 2 feet over my head, and just it's going to be high, and it just kept working itself and somehow found the strike zone. Kevin says, you know what, I'm going to get a much better pitch to hit than that.
Softly on a jam job to Jackson. To Alonso. 3rd 1-2-3 inning of the day for Brandon Young.
Delivery meets you there.
Let's take a look at an odds update via Bet365 from Valdez. The strikeouts there, the over-under currently at 5.5. The odds subject to change, fellas.
All right, Logan. Great strike throwing early. Framber Valdez For the last 5 batters has started the at-bat 2-0. Tigers have a knack for not just stressing first pitch strikes, winning the race to 2 strikes, but getting pitchers to do it. And it's a different approach with every pitcher. Everybody's different. Sometimes it's a cue that you give a pitcher. Sometimes it's something in his delivery. Sometimes it's how he's sequencing his pitches. Whatever it might be, they have a knack. Numbers you saw earlier, 66% first pitch strikes for Framber Valdez. For his career, he's at 59%. That's not a small increase. That's an incredible increase in his ability to throw first pitch strikes. Again, he's been a little bit off today after a good start. But the total strike throwing goes along with that. That's why he's walked 2 or fewer in all but 2 starts. You see him sometimes lose it just a little bit like he has today over the last 9 batters or so. Changeup misses in, and now we're starting to see that pitch count climb with some long at-bats. This is a big improvement for Framber, and as you said, Dan, the more he can stay with the good first pitch strike throwing, you're going to have the quicker at-bats. It leads to softer contact. That's what the Tigers emphasize over and over and over. You get ahead, you get softer contact. He doesn't always get soft contact, but it's very little in the way of extra base power. Perez came in, then went back. In the end, that's a good running catch for Wenzel Perez. 3 line drives to right the last 3 batters. Let's take a look at the swing and miss for Framber today. A lot of it came early. 3 off the curveball, 3 off the changeup, 3 on the sinkers. That's a big total.
It is, and it's nice to see just you've got 3 on 3 separate pitches.
Yep.
Instead of one being real heavy. And that's the key about throwing strike ones too. It's not, well, hey, just throw a strike. Well, you know what? You should be able to throw 3 different pitches for a strike also. It's not all about just, hey, grooving a fastball right down the middle. It's landing a first pitch curveball that a hitter says, oh, I don't want to swing at that ugly looking curveball and hit a little ground ball. I'm going to take it. Next thing you know, it's 0-1. There's a 4-seamer. Decided to mix it back in. And then the same thing. He started a lot of hitters off with a changeup. You know, hitters up there thinking, okay, I want to ambush him, throw something else.
And that's the thing. Like you said, it's got to be a quality strike one. Some guys throw more strike ones, but then that first pitch gets hit hard.
And
his first pitch, when it's put in play, well below league average.
It's not just one pitch. You're right. It's the quality of whatever pitch you're throwing.
Changeup gets Jackson. 5th strikeout for Framber Valdez.
Boy, that one just kind of floated in there. And fooled Jackson. That one just good. You see that good darting action away from Jackson, but just kind of floated in there, just waiting for it to come over the plate. Never did, and then darted away at that last split second.
So if there's not going to be a ton, Jake Rogers is going to challenge the curveball.
Challenge, call ball.
The challenge is powered by T-Mobile. Jake's smiling. I think he knows he might not.
Yeah.
Oh, he got it.
Wow.
Well done, Jake. He knew. What am I talking about?
But no, I thought maybe it was off the plate a little bit. Jake was like, I had to give it a shot. But you talk about, landing a curveball and the quality of it, that's both.
Come right back with the fastball. Another fly ball to right. Wenzel Perez is getting a workout out there. He's taken care of 4 of the last 5 Orioles batters on line drives to the track. Fine play in right field for Wenzel Perez.
For fun, for schools.
Tigers take a 2-0 lead at the top of the 6th inning. Of the order, Dingler, Green, and Vierling against Brandon Young. Let's go down to Logan Reaver, who's with some of those 265 people, including the Miracle Mom.
I'm with the most important of the 265 people. You might disagree with that. Tracy McGonigal, eventful 48 hours for you could say. Friday night, where you know, you're having this emergency surgery. Luckily, you're here today. You're a trooper. Everyone's like, why are you here? You're like, I had one day off. That's all I needed. For you, when you're watching Kevin hit that home run from your phone, coming back from the hospital, still delirious from the anesthesia, as you said, what's going through your mind?
Nothing. That I wish I was here. That's what, you know, I wish I saw it in person, but saw it on my phone, as you said, from the car, and screamed a little bit. Gave my boyfriend a heart attack because he thought something was happening, and I said, no, Kevin just hit a home run. But I had told Kevin earlier in the day, before my surgery, you can't hit a home run tonight because I won't be able to scream. I said, which means you are going to hit a home run, and there he did. First at bat, first pitch. So it was great.
You're a fortune teller on top of it, too. Something I thought was great is that the doctor finishes with the surgery, right? He comes back out, and on your chart it said that you have to leave early because, quote, your son plays baseball. What did the doctor say when he came back in the room?
After surgery, he came in to the room and he said, you didn't tell me your son was a famous baseball player. I said, I just thank you for getting me on the schedule today because I'm going tomorrow. So it all worked out and I made it.
Something I think about, because I've talked with Kevin a number of times just about you, I think about the press conference where he's signing this big deal and he makes eye contact with you and he starts getting emotional. We're trying to make you cry too. How would you describe your relationship with your son?
Oh, we have a great relationship. You know, he knows I'm here for him for anything, and he's there for me too. I mean, it's family. You know, that's what you do, and I'm just so proud and happy for him, and just happy to be here, and I always will through his whole career. Just happy to be part of it. This is what he's wanted from the time he was a little boy. So to be able to see it come true, it's just a dream come true for me.
Speaking of probably maybe what wasn't a dream come true is coordinating 265 people to be in one place at one time.
This is true. It was a little difficult, but it all worked out. Probably one of the reasons why I was a little upset after coordinating for 265 tickets that I wasn't going to be here. But no, it all worked out.
Tracy, thank you so much for the time. We're so happy you're feeling amazing. And Kevin's having some productive days, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
All right, Dan, back up to you.
Great stuff, Logan. My goodness. Now, I know the technology was probably a little different 50 years ago. I've had an appendectomy, Dan.
Have you?
I wasn't up and about 2 days later, I'll tell you that.
I was going to say, Kevin, you know how tough Kevin is, and you're saying, boy, you know, Tracy certainly is just as tough. I mean, 2 days?
Are you kidding me?
I can't imagine. We're talking about the Scooble scope. That's a McGonagall scope right there. 2 days later, back at it.
She's probably making those plans for the 265 tickets while she's in the hospital.
My goodness.
That's crazy.
And
Good
think
for
of,
her.
I mean, think about if she did. You don't want to bust a stitch or something like that, screaming.
Diving stop at third, but pops out of the glove for Wilson. And Matt Vierling has his second hit of the day. 2 good swings for Matt against Brandon Young. So happy she could make it. That's pretty incredible. All that planning. A few bus loads of people. I've never heard of 265 from one town to support one player. That's pretty neat.
And then all getting together, you know, but beforehand, and
yeah,
you know, and typical Kevin too, going over there and greeting everybody and saying hi, and showed that picture of the little one in his arms, you know.
Colt Keith has had 2 good swings today against Brandon Young. There hasn't been a lot of hard contact. Keith's first at-bat, he hit the ball hard, but to center field. Again, on a 55-degree day, it's just not the same. The ballpark not yielding home runs. There were 3 on Friday, but you could just tell on that first fly ball from Colt Keith. And I think that was a very good sign, by the way, that he hit it hard to center field. That the ball doesn't travel on days like this like it does in the summer months. Good sign, though. He got the ball in the air, something behind it, hit it hard to center field. It has been an absence of extra base power that has stood out with Colt Keith. For AJ, talking about it the other day, said for him it's all about timing.
You know, I just like to just, you know, the productive at bat too, knowing that what you have to do and have a good idea about it. Don't just go up there and take an at-bat, but know what you have to do to hit that outfield grass. Something to the outfield to drive in a run.
No, that had to feel good.
Yeah.
Situational hitting. So Tigers talk about all the time. Every at-bat is a situation. What is the game telling me to do in this at-bat? Quick move, snap throw over to first. Again, this is a pitcher who stops the running game. Rutschman's good behind the plate.
Yeah. That Beerling doesn't have a real big lead over there.
Will that one drop? It's a little pop fly, and it will. Beerling is going to be waved to third. Cole Keith will hold at first. A little bloop, and that's a good feeling for Cole Keith to be standing on first base. Runners hit the corners, 2 outs in the 6th.
Yeah, it just looked like it was off the end just slightly, and just enough that that parachute just came and dropped in right in front of Tyler O'Neill. Right off the bat, you could say, oh, man, that's in the perfect position. The only thing is O'Neill diving for it and just a little too far for him. Again, first and third here, 2 outs. Somebody come up with a big 2-out hit.
Wenzel Perez hit the ball hard first time up, line drive right to Taveras in center field. Then a good at-bat last time up. He walked high and tight with the fastball for strike 1. To second base. Little backhand flip to Henderson for the force. Tigers threaten, but do not score. How about this for a cheering section? This was the group for Kevin McGonigal yesterday. I love it. Do is win. Tigers fans, memberships for the 2026 season are still available. You can become a 1901 Society member at less total games at a lesser price in a full season. If you commit to just 18 games, you're going to unlock the best perks available, like price, location, exclusive member events, priority access to postseason tickets, a whole lot more. Visit Tigers.com/2026 to start your membership journey today. Lineup turns over. Ward at the plate. Dan, review those numbers.
Yeah, coming into the game, 15 for 31, but already a strikeout and a 3, little pop-up, or actually a line drive.
Sinker away. Second trip through the order. It was not a lot of strike ones. Fell behind several hitters, 2-0 or 2-1. Ward's specialty is drawing a walk. Fromber's strength this year has been throwing strikes. He can get back into this at bat.
With 3-0, he didn't give in either, thinking that Taylor Ward might have been swinging. Hits that outside corner with the 3-0 pitch, and then you can see Ward with how much movement that is, kind of jackknifing a little bit with that, catching that sinker on the inner third of the plate.
Comes back with the same pitch, gets a pop-up down the right field line. Wenzel Perez again makes the play.
And that definitely has been the pitch that has looked so good for Fromber today. And it just looks like that horizontal movement is there. I mean, not only is it coming out of his hand and sinking, but I just think he's getting a lot of that arm side run, and that'll keep it off a lot of barrels. Just when you think you've got it barreled up, and then there's that really good late life to it.
Curveball is hit high in the air to right field and gone. Wow, that just kept going. Towering fly ball off the bat of Gunnar Henderson, and hitting lefties for power this year, and he cuts the Tigers lead to 2-1 with his 11th home run of the year.
Boy, Dan, we are just talking about, the good quality strike ones. And Fromber just tried to throw that first pitch curveball for a strike, and it just stayed in the middle of the plate. And Henderson just got up underneath it, just kind of lofted it, wasn't sure right off the bat, and then just the way Wenzel went after, he went, uh-oh, that's just going to catch that first row where the folks are standing out there. 368 feet.
It is interesting that the ground balls are definitely dropping as the season goes on, Dan. The last 8 balls put in play as we see Will Vest get loose. The last 8 balls put in play by the Orioles have been fly balls and mostly to right.
Yeah, there's been a lot of those. Like you said, I mean, Wenzel has been very, very busy out there. And as good as that sinker is, you know, sometimes this the approach by the other team, just making sure that they know that that sinker is good, trying to stay underneath it and getting underneath it to loft those. And you'll take a lot of those easy fly balls, too.
Conversation. Chris Fetter back to the dugout. Adley Rutschman has walked twice, once in an 8-pitch trip to the plate, the other time 7. Ball 1 to start this at bat. Up the middle, and that's where Zach McKinstry is. 2 outs in the 6th inning. And now a message from Rally House, Michigan.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
Well, this becomes the at-bat.
Yes.
Almost surely the end of the day.
Yep.
For Framber Valdez. Although he would get O'Neill if Alonso reaches, but the home run threat. Pops this one up to center field. It's high, it's deep, and Veerling is going to go back and have room at the wall to make the catch. Wow. Pete Alonso knows he just missed one.
That's 3 swings that he's had. Flew out to left twice and now to center.
We make sleep easy.
Bet365 scoreboard. Tigers hold on to the 2-1 lead thanks to the damp, chilly weather in Baltimore because Pete Alonso crushed that ball.
That's 3 really good swings that he had today. A couple off the end, but that one he squared up.
Jake Rogers 0 for 2. Brandon Young has not pitched deep into games very often this year. But you look at the hits he's given up. He's given up 5. He got a ground ball that was hit hard, kind of a line drive off the bat of McGonigal. Veerling line drive single. You got a bloop single. You've got shorts near home run. Maybe 4 hard hit balls off Brandon Young today. He's done a nice job. Still a good three and 2 now, and Jake Rogers had the good hitters count. Now 3 and 2. First time this year that Young has pitched into the 7th inning. Jake Rogers pops it up. We've seen a lot of that off of his bat. Kind of a pop up to right first time up. Popped out to second base last time, hitting 159 in limited at bats this year. Always remember that he hit 20 home runs a few years ago. That power is still in there. Turned on the sinker but pulled it foul. 8-9 hitters here in the 7th inning. Tigers love to answer back. Orioles just got on the board. Four-seam fastball on pitch number 8 gets Jake.
Yeah, Jake had fallen off a couple of pitches just to keep that bat alive, and then just got a little over anxious on that high fastball. thinking that maybe he could start that inning off by coaxing a walk out of Young, but just got a little too aggressive.
These are the games that we've seen a lot of in the last few weeks, Dan. Tigers have done a good job scoring first, and usually that should lead to wins. Basically every year teams win about 60% of the time when they score first, even if it's 1-0. But the problem for the Tigers has been adding on to those early runs, and then we have seen other teams again and again in tight, low-scoring games score late to tie it up or win it. Tigers badly in need of some add-on runs here in the late innings.
Yeah, just that home run. I mean, Framber Valdez is pitching a great game and cruising right along, and it's really a tight game. And then just that little home run is that just a little bit of a spark for the Orioles. They got three more at bats, and just that home run gives them a completely different outlook.
Brandon Young is giving them a lift with his outing today. 94 pitches. 97 is the most he's thrown. Only 6 starts coming in. Orioles have had some injuries in their rotation. The 1-2 again. The take. Roger saw 8 pitches before striking out. Zach Short will see at least 6. Keegan Aiken, the Western Michigan Bronco, getting loose for the Orioles. Sinker gets Zach Short.
Yeah, after that hanging curveball that Zach Short hit the double on, he saw nothing but those sinkers and sliders. And that one was a really good sinker that was just underneath the bat of Zach Short.
Strikeouts 3 and 4 to start the 7th inning. Splitter to Zach McKinstry. That has not been a weapon. Again, that's been his most hittable pitch, but if he's missed today, he's kept it out of the hitting zone.
You got to believe that Brandon Young knows too that this is probably my last hitter. I got to get Zach McKinstry.
Foul down the first base line. McGonigal up, lefty throwing. Yeah, I can just about guarantee it.
Yeah, I was thinking he may just have Zach McKinstry doing everything he can. Craig Albertaz, just manager of the Orioles, just whatever he can do to try to give Brandon Young just that shot to get through the 7th inning.
Got the good hitters count, 2-1. 1 strikeout through 21 batters for Young, and now he has struck out 3 of the last 6. Good take. McGonigal waiting on deck. He's going to face the lefty. Zach McKinstry trying to get something started with 2 outs in the 7th inning. That's a well-located fastball down and away.
Yeah, that was the pitch right there if you're thinking, because I think you're going to get a good pitch to hit this last 2 just because he knows it's the last hitter. If he loses them, he's out of the game, so he's got to come right after him.
Splitter up. That's not where he wants it. You can see why that pitch has been hit hard the last 2 years.
And that's the thing. You can't afford to make it a really nasty split finger. You've got to throw it for a strike. But Zach McKinstry knows that he can be a little bit selective here because he knows he's going to get a good one.
Popped up, foul, out of play.
Another one.
Yep.
Another one just challenging him, just saying, yep, here it is.
Most pitches that Brandon Young has thrown in his 19 major league starts, never gone over 100. Pitch 104, foul out of play. Zach McKinstry will see at least 9 pitches in this trip to the plate. Again, the 3-2. Good trip to the plate for Zach McKinstry, a 2-out walk. That will be the end of the day. Lefty is coming on for Kevin McGonigal. Tigers trying to add to their 2-1 lead in the 7th.
The best $10.99 you can eat.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Detroit Tigers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Detroit Tigers.
Keegan Aiken, the Western Michigan Bronco product. Kevin McGonigal, game 1, left on left against Keegan Aiken. That was a no-doubter. First pitch of the game, Craig Albanez believes in his lefty, but Keegan Aiken has had a really tough time getting lefties out. The last 2 years, he induces the soft ground ball off the slider. One pitch, and he gets the final out here in the 7th. Coming up, it's the Figer Law, 7th in.
This Memorial Day, please join USAA in honoring our fallen heroes. God bless.
Memorial Day weekend. The Tigers are actually off tomorrow. Day that we remember all of those who have served this country so honorably, given their lives for our freedoms in this country. Tigers in the first game of a doubleheader take a 2-1 lead to the bottom of the 7th inning. Will Vest takes over on the mound. Good to see him back then. The first outing out of that bullpen off the IL, Will Vest, it was that 97-mile-an-hour challenge fastball. And then he worked back-to-back. It wasn't quite the same the next night, but I'm guessing that's just, hey, he hadn't done that in a while.
He had one rehab appearance, and it went so well that they just said, you know what, we need him, and we got to get him back up here really quick. So he didn't have what they would have liked to have done, back-to-back outings on his rehab assignment down in AAA. But Fromber, how about Fromber Valdez, though? I mean, a great job by Fromber. Just 6 innings, just 2 hits. One of those ones, just a Gunnar Henderson home run.
Did a great job. Our Comerica Bank game summary. Tigers scratched out a couple of runs in the 4th inning. Started with a McGonigal single, and then this play, Pete Alonso tried to make a baseball play, and instead it backfired on him, and the Tigers took advantage, scored 2 runs. The Matt Vierling single, the sacrifice fly off the bat of Cole Keith. Tigers scored 2. Dingler scores without a throw. And then Gunnar Henderson left on left, one of 2 hits allowed by Fromber Valdez today. It was interesting. Every ball was in the air the last few innings. This little pop-up will be caught by Zach McKinstry. Softly into left field, 1 pitch and 1 out. Jackson Holliday now has grabbed a bat. Hit the most unusual home run in the game on Friday. The only place it's shallow in left field is right there. 333, as you can see. And then the wall immediately goes out about 30 feet away. It's 373 feet. And Jackson Holliday hit it right there. Riley Green, the look on his face, he was like, what in the world just happened? He looked behind him to see if it was behind him. Nope, he tucked it in the one spot where you can hit a 330-foot home run.
Peter challenge to call ball.
Challenge by the Tigers on the called ball. Brought to you by Figer Law.
Call is overturned. The pitch is strike.
For Jake Rogers. 2 for 2. Well, that was actually Will Vest challenging. We haven't seen many of those.
That's a pitch right there to left-handers that Will's had some success in striking or getting some swing and miss with, is that slider. Get him to swing right over the top of it.
Fastball at 96 misses down. Holiday just back. Hamate bone surgery kept him out longer than the Orioles thought it would. Just 2 games back. Ooh, four-seam fastball.
Yeah.
Just grabs the outside edge.
I thought Jackson Holiday was grabbing the top of his helmet, but he didn't. And probably a good thing. That might have caught the corner.
Swinging a foul over the screen. You saw the numbers for Will Vest. It's a high ERA, but I still feel really good with Will Vest on the mound. Been a couple of outings that have bloated the ERA a little bit.
I think he was trying to pitch through that angry forearm or angry elbow, and that might have led to some of those earned runs.
Good fastball here, gets the ground ball to first. There's a lot to like about his season, even with that ERA that you see. It's only 13 2/3 innings. Bumped the ground ball rate significantly last year and has taken it to another level. You got a power arm, gets a ton of ground ball outs. That's a great combination. A little more swing and miss. Picture this guy getting into a groove and being the guy that he's been, well, 3 years running, an ERA right below 3 the last 3 years combined.
Just that 4-pitch mix. You know, not too many back-end relievers have that 4-pitch mix, the 4-seam, the sinker, slider, changeup, and not afraid to use them.
That's right. Opponent's only hitting 240 with no power. Some bad luck involved, and having given up as many runs as he has in 13 2/3.
There you go. I mean, that's a great example of the changeup. You bet it is. You know, when you've got a guard against that upper 90s fastball, the 4-seam, and the sinker, and then he drops in that changeup, especially located right where he threw that last one.
The 1-2. Man, you talk about hitting the target. Jake set up away. That fastball was right there. Taveras hitting from his stronger left side. Back end of the bullpen certainly looking stronger now with the return of Will Vest. Vest, Finnegan, Jansen. Jansen's throwing the ball really well right now. Fastball away at 95. Not much home run power. Taveras has had some good swings in the 2 games. Got him. Fastball riding at the top of the strike zone.
Boy, that looked like it had a little bit extra little hop there at the end. Taveras thinks, oh yeah, looking good.
Exclusively at the Home Depot.
Well, June and July giveaways have just been released. Items for the giveaways include a printed sun hat, Detroit Stars inspired windbreaker, Paws tiki mug, and a 1901 replica jersey. Head to Tigers.com/giveaways to learn more and get your tickets. 3-4-5 hitters against Keegan Aiken. Fastball a little above the belt. CNL Ward on deck. Hitter is Riley Green. As we mentioned, Keegan Aiken has not been getting lefties out. Not just this year, last year and this year combined. As he goes to 3-0 on Dylan Dingler. They've hit .298 with power. They didn't do anything against him in 2024. Keegan Aiken has been a reliable lefty arm out of the bullpen for the Orioles the last 2 years. He misses with 4 straight. To Dylan Dingler to start the 8th inning. That brings up Riley Green.
Yeah, you know Keegan Aiken was left in the game just for this reason, to go after Riley Green, and forgot all about Dylan Dingler. Hey, I gotta face somebody before I get to Riley Green, and 4 straight pitches, and hopefully this turns into a big inning for the Tigers.
Riley Green swings and pops it up. Gunnar Henderson will follow that ball right to the line. 1 out in the 8th inning. And now a message from Figer Law.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, make Figer Law your first call. Figer Law. All we do is win. All we do is win.
Matt Vierling's had 2 good swings today. Line drive single brought home a run in the 2-run 4th inning. Shot to third base, was just knocked down by Wilson earlier. That was an infield base hit. Great if this bat started to heat up. 2 home runs his last 6 games coming in. A 2-hit game for Matt. We know what the upside is. Got great bat-to-ball skills. You can drive the ball. It's a lot of line drives. Just, let's face it, missed a full year of baseball. And he's still trying to, I think, Dan, get that good swing back. You have noticed that he has struggled against good fastballs.
And there's times where you see it too, when he's driving that ball the other way. He's going to run into him where he pulls those home runs, but when he's really going good, he's getting that and driving that ball the other way.
Little pop fly, and that ball's going to drop perfectly down the right field line. There you go.
That's it.
Just like that.
That wasn't exactly smoked or driven, but that's when he's going good, he's getting those base hits the other way. And that's a perfect example. Just staying on it a little bit longer, tough pitch, and just reached out, poked it into right field.
Spencer Torkelson will pinch hit for Colt Keith. No, the whole, like you said, he's probably been trying to get that ball to right field. So when the at-bat matches that approach, even if you pop out to first base, that's okay. Not okay, but at least your mistake matched the intent. AJ talks about that all the time.
Yep. I mean, beats the alternative of reaching out and trying to pull that ball or hook that ball, and it turns into a 6-4-3 double play.
So he wants to go to right. A bloop is good. Drew French, the pitching coach, out. Runners at the corners. Tigers trying to add on. They had runners at the corners with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Keegan Aiken is a fly ball pitcher. He gets very few ground balls. Lowest ground ball rate of his career. One thing I like, he's giving up a lot of line drives. This Tigers team leads the American League in line drive percentage. That's always a good sign.
And this is another very important at bat right here, just to drive that outfield. Something to that outfield.
This should be a good matchup for Torg. Keegan Aiken, for all of his struggles this year, is still tough on righties. Well, he has been the last 2 years, not so far this year, and there's limited at bats. It's been a struggle for Keegan Aiken.
Yeah, both sides are giving him some problems, but he's got the stuff.
Change up away. Torg thought about it. I'm surprised he didn't challenge.
Yeah. I mean, there's just 2 pitches, almost identical spot. The 4-seam and then the change up off of it.
Probably go right back out there. Little cue job to first base, and Torg is going to be safe, and the Tigers are going to score a run. Pete Alonso was the only one who was going to get to that ball. There was nobody covering first because Jackson was shaded up the middle. Keegan Aiken was nowhere in sight. 3-1 Tigers in the 8th.
Oh, what a thing of beauty. That good changeup right off the end of the bat. Keegan Aiken's falling off to the third base side and just for whatever reason just does not go over. Just looks at it, then thinks, oh, I better get over. And by then it's too late. Torg is blown by Aiken, and there's nobody over at first base.
How about that?
Oh, thing of beauty. I mean, that's the kind of thing that, and it started, Hao-Yu Lee had one of those up the third baseline on Friday, and just maybe, things are starting to turn for the Tigers.
You can't help but look at that and think, no, things are definitely starting to turn. A bloop and a bleeder. No balls, 2 strikes on Wenzel Perez. 7 for 35 with a home run from the right side. This is where he was much improved last year. big numbers as a right-handed batter. Plays off the high fastball. See if he can get a fastball, drive it hard somewhere. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Those are the kinds of swings we're seeing, Danny. Ends up off balance, kind of swinging himself around that batter's box. It's just not the same swing we're used to seeing from Wenzel Perez.
Yeah, just pulling off of it. Yeah, like you said, just that off-balance swing where he's kind of, his shoulders and chest are facing the pitcher after he swings.
Ball 1. Tigers still with a chance to add on. 2-run lead in the 8th inning. Fielding runs well. He's at second. Tork's at first. Change up away. Outfield plays Jake to pull. See if he can get one in the air with something behind it. Frozen by the changeup, 2-1.
Yeah, Aiken has shown that good changeup in this outing, down and away from the righties. You can tell that he's got a lot of confidence in it.
2-1 fastball middle. Like to see him fire on that. 2-2. Started with the walk. Jake has worked it to 3-2. Third time today he's seen a 3-ball count. 3-2, 2 outs. Runners will be off for the pitch. 3-2. Wow. Change a ball out of hand. Bases are loaded for Zach Short, and that's the end of the day for Keegan Aiken. Orioles had a couple of pitchers warming up. Kittredge and Nunez. We'll see which one gets the call. Tigers with a 2-run lead in the 8th, trying to add on.
Eat some good.
Tigers baseball on Detroit Sportsnet is brought to you by Wallside Windows, local and family-owned, celebrating 82 years as Michigan's leader in replacement windows, and by your Metro Detroit Buick GMC dealers. Lefty replaces a lefty. You don't see that very often. Some good righty arms in this bullpen. Dietrich ends. A Tiger for a moment last year. And came to Baltimore and had a really strong finish. Lots of swing and miss, lots of strikeouts. Wallside Windows pitching change brings the lefty into this game, making his 12th appearance of the year. He's had a tough time throwing strikes. Zach Short takes a sort of strike near the outside part of the plate.
That last outing of his on Monday had a rough go, just an inning, gave up 3 hits and 4 runs along with 3 walks.
11 walks, 11 strikeouts in his 14 innings of work. Zach Short quickly behind 0-2. Fell behind 0-2 in his first at-bat, almost homered, banged it off the wall in left field for a double. Got a chance to break this game wide open. High fly ball, right center, deep but playable. O'Neill makes the catch. Tigers scratch out another run. The big hit from Spencer Torkelson. The Tigers back on top by
hardware, folks.
Tigers baseball on Detroit Sportsnet is brought to you by Figer Law. All we do is win. By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By USAA. This Memorial Day, let's honor what was given. By your local Toyota dealer for all the latest offers from Toyota. Visit Toyota.com. Kyle Finnegan will protect a 3-1 lead in the 8th inning. Kyle Finnegan is tough to hit. He hasn't given up many runs. He's got a sparkling 1.50 ERA, Dan. But this The walk total is such a puzzle.
It is. It is. And a lot of them have come early in innings.
Well, this is a guy who will not walk. Perfect first batter for him to face. Splitter is up. And to me, Dan, it feels like it's all about the splitter, because it has not been the same weapon this year that it was last year. It was more hittable after he came off the injured list in September into October. This year, opponents have hit 280 in their 32 at-bats, with 4 extra base hits against the splitter. This is deep to the right center field gap, and that ball is one hop up against the wall. Jackson will break it down at second base. Hold to the leadoff double here in the 8th inning.
Well, he went to that splitter again, like you talked about, and that one just stayed up and out over the plate, and Jackson just stayed with it and shot it right where it was pitched. It just didn't have that really good downward action to it. And that little pocket of right-handed hitters that was coming up here, you're going to see Colton Cowser going to pinch hit.
And these are the hitters you really, for him, you want that splitter for Kyle Finnegan against these lefties.
Going down and away from them.
Just too many have been left up, out over the plate.
That's it.
That's the splitter we're looking for. Perfect.
And that just tells you just how important that last run that the Tigers picked up in the top of the 8th. It gives you that just that little tiny little bit more margin for error.
Cowser fouls it out of play. Been a struggle. Colton Cowser, another one of these young Orioles who in 2024 had a big year. Hit 240, but it was 240 with power. 24 doubles, 24 home runs. You can see the numbers this year. That's over 100 trips to the plate. No production. Bounce this one foul. 2 good splitters in a row to Colton Cowser. Doesn't really get at bats against lefties. Big problem for him since the very productive 2024 season. He has not been able to hit righties.
Orioles still have Samuel Basayo on the bench. Another left-handed hitter. Good-looking young
sure is
hitter.
Lefties have had a big edge against Kyle Finnegan. That was not the case last year. They've hit him for average and for power. Checks Jackson at second. The 0-2 again. Ground ball softly down the first base line. Boom, hit a rock. Almost came back fair and scared Cowser to death.
Sure did. He had broken it down like, I'm stopping right here, and he saw it start to kick fair and went, uh-oh, I better turn it on here. I'm breaking it down.
Whoa,
wait a minute. Yep. And that's exactly what Kyle Finnegan wants him to do. That's that split finger that's on the outside part of the plate.
Yep.
He wants him to try to pull it, and got the kind of the reaction or the what he was looking for in that weak little contact.
Lineup turns over for Taylor Ward, who's waiting on deck. After this at bat, the 1-2. Soft ground ball again, got him to roll over on the splitter. Torkelson to the bag. 1 out, 8th inning. This is where you look at the hitting profile for Taylor Ward and go, boy, the Orioles would love to see that power that they thought they had signed. Getting an on-base machine. 2 home runs and a whole lot of at-bats.
Let's see if Kyle breaks out the slider. He's been throwing it more and more to right-handed hitters, trying to steal strike one.
Wow, fastball got turned around. 97 middle. Taylor Ward may not be hitting for average, but he certainly can hit a fastball there. We've got a 1-run game again.
Yeah, this is just a center cut four-seam fastball. Boy, and it's a pretty good looking swing from Taylor Ward. And now Chris Vetter's going to have to go out because Gunnar Henderson had homered the last time up off of Fromber. Just with him in that batter's box, you got to be really, really careful. You talk about those split fingers that he threw to Colton Cowser. Those are the kind of split fingers that he's going to want to throw in this at-bat to Gunnar Henderson.
He's going to continue to throw it, even though it's been his most hittable pitch. Gunnar Henderson against Fromber Valdez, one of 2 hits he gave up today. That was a towering fly ball to right.
Yeah, it's just one of those curveballs that just stayed up. One of the very few mistakes that Fromber made today. He was excellent.
Need to see that good splitter here from Kyle Finnegan. Splitter away.
He was able to get Cowser to expand his strike zone and swing at those pitches.
Henderson has crushed righties the last couple of years. Not so much this year, 220 with low power numbers. Make it throw him a strike.
Boy, you can see just Henderson, too, looks like he's up on that plate where if you don't throw it down and away, he's going to cover that outer third plate. He's just kind of that right elbow kind of draped on that inner third.
3 straight splitters.
Can't
and
get
it's
him to
ball.
bite.
It's ball out of hand.
Yeah. Yep.
Ball out of hand. Not even tempting for the lefty Gunnar Henderson. Be careful. Fastball's got a little more hop to it, a little more vertical on it this year. Noticeable jump. Time call by Gunnar Henderson. Finnegan's getting a lot of ground ball outs. His ground ball rate last 2 years has been right there at half of the balls put in play. Got it on the outside edge for strike 2. Perfect pitch.
It was. Boy, you talk about it. Pulling one out of a hat right there, just when you needed to. 3-1 and just making a perfect pitch down and away. And that'll open up the split finger if he wanted to go to it or stay with that four-seamer.
Stayed of the four-seamer, but a big miss. Look out. 2 on, just 1 out. Again, just so puzzling. 19 walks and 15 strikeouts for Kyle Finnegan this year in his 24 1/3 innings of work. A walk rate of 7 per 9. He hasn't been above 3.5 since he was a rookie. Splitter, strike 1. And Rutschman, switch hitter, good from both sides. Putting up some of his best offensive numbers in 3 years. The strike 1. Foul out of play. That fastball, Dan, it not only has life, but it works at the top of the strike zone. If he can work that top rail against Rutschman.
Yeah, and this is what's nice to see right now is just him getting ahead 0-2. Now he's got that chance to throw one of those split fingers, and he doesn't have to come right to him. He can just toy with that outside part of the plate.
Rutschman's got really good bat to ball skills. The 0-2 tried to work it up, but he has that ability to foul off. That's a heck of a foul, really, with the way his fastball's been riding this year.
Good, just staying on that outside corner.
Come up with a big pitch here in the splitter. Induce a swing. Four-seamer away.
Catcher time to call ball.
And this is a good challenge. I know it might be just off the plate, but this is a key moment. You got to take a shot.
Tigers have 1 time remaining.
Two successful challenges, one from Jake, one from Will Vest earlier. Tigers still have one left.
Does he feel confident enough in that split finger? I don't know if
I don't know that he does.
Exactly.
The 1-2. Yeah, he's being, it feels very cautious there.
That one almost was a little bit guided.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't want to make a mistake with it. If it's rolling a little bit,
it's an easy read for hitters right now.
Yeah, just seems to be a lot more comfortable with that fastball up and away.
Big 2-2 pitch. Pop up to center field. Right to Matt Vierling. Everybody holds. Big out. Now Pete Alonso's had good swings today. Strides to the plate.
And he's not going to get a chance
to
face Kyle Finnegan. Went to that splitter, Dan, and he threw a good one. He let it go, and it had the good action, got the out that he needed.
Kenley Jansen's been pitching great. He's coming on to get the final 4 outs of this game. Tigers holding on to the 1-run lead in the 8th.
It's Miller time.
StatCast powered by Google Cloud. This is the last ball that Pete Alonso hit. 34-degree launch angle at 109. Why are we so specific? Because that same ball, the last 2 years, we've seen 12 of them, Dan. All 12 were home runs that averaged 420 feet. This is what cooler, damper weather does. It is the ball is definitely not flying. You could see how puzzled he was.
He was at the end of that
his ball didn't go out.
He looked out there like, are you kidding me? I don't know if I can hit him any better.
It went 396. Again, the average ball, that same exit velocity and launch angle, 420. The last 2 years, all home runs. Pete Alonso swinging the bat. Kenley Jansen is dealing right now. First pitch, ball 1.
Coming off of 6 straight scoreless appearances, and in those 6 straight scoreless appearances, he struck out 10. Last pitched on Wednesday, so well rested.
2 cutters down.
And he's going to be careful. Pete Alonso's had 3 really good swings. The other 2 times he's flown out to left field, just missed them slightly off the end of the bat.
6 innings, no runs, no hits against Kenley Jansen. And that is basically when the groin was starting to feel better. Started bothering him in mid-April. Tried to pitch through it, couldn't. Popped up. Alonso slams the bat down in frustration. Zach McKinstry will take care of Pete Alonso with the catch in shallow right field. Kenley Jansen falls behind, gets a hot hitter to pop it up.
At the Home Depot.
Take a look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Bet365. The struggling Angels come in for a brief 3-game homestand, then back on the road. White Sox much improved this year. And Tampa Bay, oh so happy to be back at Tropicana Field. They're playing some great baseball right now. They just refuse to lose. Jahmai Jones pinch hitting for Zach McKinstry. Quickly ahead. Dietrich ends. Low batting average for both lefties and righties. Lefties don't hit him with any power. It's limited at bats. Righties draw a lot of walks. High in the air to left field, but not deep. Cowser just into the game will make the catch. 1 up, 1 down, 9th inning. Tigers would surely love to add to this 1-run lead. Just a win. Any way you can get it.
Yeah, nobody said they were going to be easy, but boy, you would love
win.
Just a little bit more margin.
Just a win could go such a long way. Set you up for game 2 and potentially leaving Baltimore with a really good feeling. McGonigal takes strike 1. 1 for 4 for Kevin McGonigal. His single in the 4th inning was one hopper off the infield dirt. Started the 2-run uprising. Tigers added a run last inning. Fastball away. Lefties hitting .238 in their early at-bats against Dietrich Enns. Debuted in 2017 and then didn't pitch again in the major leagues till 2021. Went overseas for several years. Changeup freezes Kevin McGonigal. 2 up, 2 down here in the 9th.
We don't see that very often. You know, just looked like caught him by surprise.
The guy who caught Dietrich Enns in his 18 innings of work with the Tigers last year, Dylan Dingler. Boy, fastball riding in at 95, right on the hands. Dylan's 0 for 3 today with a walk. He has scored 2 runs because he also reached on an error. Play of the game.
It was.
Popped up. Shallow into right field. And wow, Jackson stood his ground.
He's standing right underneath it.
O'Neill peeled out of the way. Easy inning for Enns. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning.
Go.
Tigers by
1-800-CALL-SAM.
Last 4-out save for Kenley Jansen was last July. He was with the Angels. Came on to get the last out of the 8th inning, and man, did he get a big out. Got Pete Alonso on just a little pop fly to right field. Kenley Jansen has been talking to the umpires about the mound, and everybody's looking toward the outfield.
Yeah, he was pointing towards his right foot, like right in front of the rubber. You don't know if there's been a hole that's been dug out.
Apparently the grounds crew is nowhere to be seen. There we go. They've been looking to the outfield for about 3 minutes, waiting for the grounds crew to come in and make a repair. Here they come, charging in from the right field corner.
Yeah, you wonder if they're going to put some clay down. They got that tamper with them too. Like there's a big, where he pushes off with his right foot. See if they take a little bit of that.
This is really unusual because he has not taken a warm-up toss yet. Now the entire grounds crew is coming out from the right field corner.
Yeah,
this is like the bullpen coming in when both dugouts empty. They're like charging in. The call went out. They weren't expecting to get the call. Kenley Jansen is now throwing to Jake Rogers from the grass to the side of the mound, but you could see him indicating that his ankle was kind of, he just didn't like it. It was clearly too deep a hole, Dan, in front of that rubber.
And I mean, good for Kenley for saying something too, instead of, out there and it being in the back of his mind saying, oh man, and then him not feeling with, the conviction of throwing his pitches.
Coming off a groin injury.
I just think you don't want to, and then you throw ball 1 and it's like, oh no.
Now it's really.
Now I can't really call him out.
Great jobs by the grounds crew.
That's right where they put it too. It was right on that third base side of the rubber, right where Kenley wanted it. Just flattened it straight out.
The rapid response team came charging out of that corner. You don't see that very often, but you're right. Good job to ask for it instead of just trying to pitch through it.
Yeah.
Mound gets chewed up over 8 innings.
Then you're going to be second guessing yourself. Well, I knew I should have said something. Just say it, get it over with. And now you just have to go after these guys.
Samuel Basayo will pinch hit, as Dan said. This is a really talented young man who's just 21 years old. Struggled in his debut last year. He's been terrific, hitting for average, hitting for power. Leading off the ninth inning in a one-run game, he swings and hits it high and foul out of play. Basayo, Halladay, Taveras against Kenley Jansen. We talked to him right after one of his first good outings. Remember, he sat for a while, never went on the injured list. Cutter got in just enough. And that's the pitch that was so affected by that groin injury. We talked to him after an outing against Kansas City, and we're like, okay, it looked like a lot more life on your cutter. And he said, yeah, the groin had been bothering him since Kansas City, tried to pitch through, gave up the 2 walk-off home runs. There just wasn't life on his pitches. And Dan, since he has returned, his last 6 outings, now 7, that cutter has life, and the movement at the plate is sharp.
And you can see the cutting action a lot more too, instead of that just spinning, that cutting action, and then the big induced vertical also from Kenley Jansen. That thing just stays right at the top of the strike zone.
Perfect pitch. Great example right there at the belt.
That's the one he wants. Just enough cutting action, and it stays true, and those hitters either pop it up like Basayo did or swing right underneath it.
Cutter away. Halladay came into the game as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning and grounded out. Taveras, switch hitter, better from the left side, waiting on deck. Just the 3rd game of the year for Jackson Halladay. Big improvements last year after mighty struggles in his debut. Remember how young he is, though. Cutter high and tight. Still want to go right after this young man. His fly ball was a little, excuse me, down the left field line in the game on Friday night. Cutter at the belt again. I thought Halladay was going to challenge. Both those calls have been just a tick above the strike zone. Halladay's got plate discipline. He's going to make it throw him a strike. Shot foul. That's the beauty of that pitch. It looks like you can turn and drill it into the right field corner at the last moment. It's in on the trademark. Alonso popped out against Jansen to end the 8th inning. A soft fly ball to right field. Basayo, just a routine fly ball to start this inning. 7th pitch of the at-bat. Walked it. Now this is where you worry just a little bit. Halladay's got speed. He's not a great base stealer. Kenley Jansen has been easy to run on his entire career, including this year.
Yep, you can see why, just how long it takes for him to get rid of the ball. He will slide step, but that's a big man out there, and having to move all those body parts, it just takes a little bit longer to get rid of the ball.
Halladay was 17 steals last year, but was caught 11 times. Kenley Jansen has allowed 3 steals in 3 attempts after 13 successful attempts last year in 13 tries. Taveras batting. Fouls it back to the screen, right down below us. Much better as a lefty.
And Kenley's been through this situation a ton and throughout his career. You don't get to be pushing 500 saves where you don't have the tying run on base. Right. Go ahead, run at the plate.
Taveras has hit over 300 with solid power numbers from the left side this year. First year with the Orioles.
1 for 2 in his career off of Kenley, just with those 2 at-bats.
McGonigal coming in tight at third onto the infield grass. To bunt against that. Halladay takes off and he'll steal second. No throw.
And Kenley, just you can see just how long it takes him to get rid of that ball. Jake Rogers, it's almost just like, you know what? Just let him go. Yeah. We want to get that guy at the plate. Put your focus on that guy at the plate.
Man, tying run at second base, and he's got wheels. McGonigal stays in tight. Taveras laid down a bunt single in game 1. The 1-1. Slider misses away.
Yeah, just how tough it is on McGonigal at third. Now he's going to move, but he was played up and had to be concerned with keeping his eye on Holiday at second base.
2-1, gets a swing and miss. Taveras is pretty solid, bats the ball skills.
Boy, look at that. He went away from the cutter, went to the sinker, and instead of Taveras knowing exactly where that ball was going, what to expect, it just darted the complete opposite way, leading to the swing and miss.
Back in with the cutter. No. Sinker runs away, and Taveras is going to make it throw him a strike. Big pitch here with a man at second. 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning, and Tigers trying to close this one out, holding on to the 1-run lead.
Yeah, good veteran call right there. Just make Kenley think about it a little bit longer.
2 good swings for Taveras today. A line drive single, a line drive out to right field, both against Framber Valdez from the right side. The 3-2. Popped up foul. Back our way. That's a good pitch. Staying with the sinker. The last 3 pitches. Clearly doesn't want to come in with that cutter. 7th pitch of the at-bat. He lost him. Back-to-back walks for Kenley Jansen. His command had been so good. Chris Fetter pops out of the dugout. He's heading to the mound. Last 6 games, 6 innings, no hits, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts, and now back-to-back walks.
These are where, to me, where pitching coaches really have to know their players. I think this is more of a talking him through this situation, not one of those ones where, hey, slow your body down. Hey,
right.
you're jumping out here a little bit. I don't think there's anything mechanical in this one. I think this is more about just getting Kenley back in focus and one of those, momentum, just pumping him up a little bit. Get back to just the way you finished that last inning, the way you went after and got the first out on Basayo.
Kenley Jansen is a fly ball pitcher. Just doesn't get ground ball outs. So rarely gets a double play turned behind him. Jeremiah Jackson has speed. Not a great double play candidate anyway, but he has grounded into 8th this year. First pitch. Tries to get the ground ball with the cutter. Down low, ball 1. Really good speed on the base pass. Taveras, one of the fastest players on this team. Holiday has good speed. Hyu Lee at second base trying to shorten that lead. Popped up off the cutter. Lee will be called off by Matt Vierling. Taking charge in center field. 2 outs in the 9th.
Boy, that's what makes that cutter so difficult. But actually, that was a sinker. That was a sinker that ran in. Boy, it sure looked like a cutter.
Didn't it?
No, it did.
There it is.
Yeah.
Little arm side run.
I was thinking, but the great thing about that cutter is it just stays up there and you get those pop-ups.
There's a cutter and there's a double steal. My goodness.
And just nothing you can do about it. They're just letting them go. Just leaving it all up to Kenley Jansen.
Now the potential winning run at second base. It's not going to be easy.
No.
My goodness.
But he's got to take that pitch and put himself in a hole 0-1 because both those runners are taken off.
Ground ball foul, and the Orioles are down to their last strike. It's been a really tough year for Colton Cowser. Into the game as a pinch hitter last inning and bounced out. Hitting 190, no power. All the Orioles want right here is a single. All Kenley Jansen wants is to end this thing right here. There's a lot of swing and miss in this bat.
How about a pop-up? How about a pop-up?
The 0-2. Fly ball. Center. Deep. You've got to be kidding me. On an 0-2 pitch, Colton Cowser got another sinker and did not miss. And Kenley Jansen has given up his third walk-off home run of the year.
And all of them coming on sinkers, Dan. Thought for sure he would stick with that cutter. He threw the previous two pitches just thinking, you know, here comes a cutter and get that nice little pop-up. He went to that sinker. Inner third, middle. However you want to look at it, went away from his best pitch, and left-handed hitters on those walk-off home runs have hit 3 sinkers to win games off Kenley Jansen.
Wow. These are gut punches, but when you've lost 15 of 17, it feels like a lot more than that. Tigers lose on a walk-off. Third time on a walk-off home run against Kenley Jansen. Post-game coming up.